Before we get started, please take the time to like, add, and subscribe to our pages on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and iTunes. Also, please leave us a review.
Here, I mean, that alligator gets pulled out of the water and thrown down.
Exactly. And then just trampled.
Yeah, essentially.
Boom.
You do wonder how messed up that crocodile got.
Yeah, and you wonder how bad
We can wander our way over, because this is Wandering Ways.
What's Bigfoot possibility?
Clink.
Clickety clack, click clack, click click clack. How we doing, my man?
Welcome back, Wanderers. Welcome back. I'm doing great, my man. We are back from Bear Country.
Yeah, before
Good
we
old
get
paradise.
jumping, I forgot to mention this last time. Are you switching up your background there? Are you going with a different backdrop for you? The last week you had the same one.
Well, this is the downstairs of my house. I have I can see my big TV in front of me. I can look out on the street. I can access my kitchen. I have a bigger table. And I have all my shit laid out on my table here. I have all my work projects, all my Wandering Ways projects, stuff like that, just ready to go. Tonight I want to dive into photos because I still need to give you photos from when you guys were out here in Montana.
Oh, I know. I need to send you guys those photos too.
Yeah, I'll just open up a Google Drive and we can figure it out. And there's some of that, and then I was like, it's a little bit easier for me to be down here and work. So I was like, well, I don't want to be going upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs. I like keeping it the same. The nice thing is about the States, it's more travel oriented than the beaver jerseys.
True.
And I'm eventually, when we get out of this place, I would like to have an office that the one wall is dedicated to nature, kind of just do a background for the podcast. I would like to set up a podcast room ultimately.
I would love to. I mean, I kind of do in a sense. It's I have this is my extra room, so it's like an office. But it's also this is where I'll meditate or do yoga in the mornings, stuff like that. But no, I was just curious if you were switching things up because last two.
No.
But no. Anyways, we convinced. I'm gonna say the Wanderers convinced Jared with peer pressure because we asked them to hit him up and say steaks in Bear Country, and you guys actually went and did steaks in Bear Country.
Yeah, despite the fucking Jared having to have his way the whole time. Yeah, no, it was it was good. I mean, the problem is with this travel oven, and you need to be very, very, very patient with this kick-ass travel oven. I think it's more for I got toaster strudels I want to throw in an oven bake. I got stuff like that old, maybe Jimmy Dean sandwiches kind of thing. You just kind of warm them up, you toaster oven them kind of thing.
Okay.
So doing we did steaks in Bear Country the first night, and then yet last night we did pizza on the Yellowstone, and it was fun. I mean, he's just an impatient dude, so it's not fun. And I think he ultimately, I'm going to blame him for breaking the oven because he kept fucking with the timer.
I didn't know the oven was broken.
Well, I haven't gone in the garage here and retested it again. I kind of gave it a day to sit, and then I'm going to go replug it in and see if it turns on and shit. But basically what happened was he was messing with the timer. He was messing with the heat thing, being like, well, we're checking to see how hot it is. Oh, it's only at half. And it's just dude, it says 80 minutes. Throw the food in there. Eyeball the food. Just eyeball the food the whole time as it's warming up. And he just wants to mess with it, tinker with it, because he's bored. It's just sit. You bought a chair. Just sit in your fucking chair and enjoy the view for an hour or two. Like that's what we're doing. So I don't think I'm going to be going over to pray for a little while.
Oh, okay.
Well, just because like I want, like yesterday, part of the pizza on the Yellowstone, part of the issue we had was at 4:00 we're looking for a fishing spot. We're going to go fish Yankee Jim, and we're driving all these spots, and we're not finding a spot. There's either a lot of people or it's not a good fishing spot. It's more like put in for a raft. And we're in the canyon, we're doing this, and then he's just like almost wants to go home. And it's like the plan today was to do this. Like what are we going to go do at home?
Yeah.
We can go enjoy the sunset and then come home to your house at when it gets just a little bit dark. It's not that you're not far from it. That's the nice thing about it. You got to go enjoy it. And I'm not getting that. I guess I need to go get it.
The boiling question is, well, I guess there's a few of them from the experience here. One, how were the steaks in bear country? Were they tasty? And two, did you attract the bears?
No bears.
No.
I wanted to stay out. We went home at like 10:30, 11, and I'm just like, dude, let's stay out here till like midnight too. He's like, hey, do you got 2 tripods? And like literally that day, and I was like, yeah, I do, for night photos. And I was like, yeah, let's go drive up one of these roads and do night photos. And he just, I don't know what it was, and just wanted to go home, wanted to, didn't want to be there. The oven kind of took forever. It was good steaks. I mean, oven baked stuff, you just take it a little bit slow. We pan seared it, we got a pan real hot in the fire and seared the steaks that way, and then did it, which was good. I enjoyed it. It was good meat. I just wanted to see what the oven could take. Like I said, it's more for like a toaster oven in that sense. And I wanted to test it to its full ability, because that's what the pizza, man. It was taking the pizza forever. But that was another thing. Is like Jared wanted to buy handmade dough and make the dough ourselves. And I was like, just buy the fucking pre-made shit that's already kind of pre-cooked, which will warm up better in an oven like this. And he didn't want to do that. He had to have it his way. And it's just like, oh God. And then we took it to his house, ultimately cooked it there. And it was one of those. And today I was just like, on my drive back, I was like, I'm going to go, like next weekend, I'm going to go to Beartooths with Thea. She's chill with like us doing whatever on whatever schedule. I mean, like that's the problem I have with you and Matt being over in Oregon. It's like, I can't go do these like weekend adventures the ways that like I enjoy doing them. So, it's like, I would love to wake up at 5 a.m. over and pray every morning to go see the sunrise.
It would be nice having that, but not a whole lot of adventuring for me since I did Bike to Crater, just because, it's that time of year and fire smoke is here, so it can't go outside.
Yeah, it's
real bad here. The air quality is up above 150. I mean, you can, visibility is pretty bad actually.
We haven't gone. I mean, you can tell the sunsets kind of show the smoke in the air, but over here in Billings, not quite bad yet. But I mean, I've seen some fires in the state. There's quite a bit, and with the water. See, what people also don't get, like, yeah, we got a lot of water this year, which is good. It is, but we got the water in the spring, and that spring water caused for more growth.
Yeah.
So right now, like, you go over to Paradise Valley where I just was, it's all brown. All that green, all that long green grass you saw is all brown now.
Yeah.
Wait till September. Wait till August.
Yeah, that was something I didn't realize about fires or like water and getting water late until I think it was when we talked to Ray. He talked about it.
Right.
And how it gets more green, and then actually you could end up having a worse fire season.
Well, and that's exactly it. And that's like I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole because we got bigger things to talk about today. But when you look at like the fire and the growth, and when you have like diversion dams and reservoirs with water, and you dammed up the Missouri River, you divert the water off the Yellowstone, that water where it's naturally supposed to be in the valley going toward a crop that probably requires more water than the native plants of the area. So you're wasting a lot more, you're using a lot more, those creeks are drying up more. So it really allows where that, your June flood, where that growth happened, where all that water came from, right up those mill creeks, and it's all dried up, and it's like one lightning strike, one tractor backfiring.
Yeah, and we're supposed to get some lightning. Actually, I think tomorrow we're supposed to get some. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
It really will be. That is, it's kind of scary when you throw the lightning in there. And
yeah, I'm just hoping the fires aren't that bad, so that way the smoke's not bad, so that way I can get outside.
No, I totally, you don't want to be wearing a mask to be in the fire smoke.
Yeah, and that's only going to do so much. I mean, it was pretty bad last night because I was going to play sand volleyball like I always do, but it came in and it got real bad, and it stayed like that until about an hour ago. It's gotten better, but it's still pretty gnarly.
So is it the ones from California you're getting kind of like a north wind pushing the smoke out?
Well, I think it's because it's so close. It's probably, I think the fire realistically is like 100 miles, less than 100 miles away from us.
Oh, okay.
Because we're not just getting smoke. Like my car was covered in ash yesterday at like 7 p.m. and then it was just covered again this morning. So like, I think that's why we're getting it real bad right now.
Makes sense. That's life. That's what you get for being down where you're at, logging country USA, also wildfire country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. And there's people out there that think we should get rid of the Forest Service because they don't do a good job at managing those fires, because they're going to do better.
I mean, what's funny is I saw, like, you look at that, I saw the post of like, yes, this mountain received 200 lightning strikes last night, or this county, I think it was like Park County received 200 lightning strikes last night. Of that, 175 of them hit grass. Of that caused 15 fires, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah, right. It's crazy.
You don't realize, and it's these storms are getting more and more violent because of these harsher climates, these harsher weathers. That it's what 104 in Billings today. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's there's a trend, and we've talked about the trend many times on this podcast throughout all of the episodes. In fact, we've done so many episodes that as of today, this episode, it's our 2-year mark of wandering around the United States, mainly.
Mainly, yeah. I mean, it'll be wandering the world eventually. So when you guys are looking back at this episode, thank you for looking back, and thank you for those who are following live. We're here 2 years. I knew we would get here. You're probably like, I don't think we would get here. But you don't think about it, I guess.
Yeah.
In reality. You just do. You just be like, we're creating content for ourselves. And I think that's the biggest thing too, right? It's just like, no, it's just a place to document the stuff. If you want to come check it out, come check it out. If you don't.
Yeah,
for
these
2 years
are really
doing
just the campfire stories that we have. It's when we're BSing around a fire. That's essentially what the podcast is.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that vibe, I mean, we've really grown more towards that vibe as this podcast has grown. You know, it was interesting as we literally were sitting around a fire up at Sealy this summer, how it felt like exactly what you're saying. It's like, it just felt like another podcast at points, talking about things, talking to people, talking to things, sitting under the awning in the rain, you know, just enjoying nature, enjoying the outdoors, and enjoying Northwest Montana, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's what the few comments that I get from people that I like directly know about the podcast is they always tell me it's like having me in the room. So,
well, that's neat.
yeah,
That's
and so,
neat.
but I think that goes into the vibe of the campfire story. You know, it's just we're around the campfire talking, making the stories and talking about all the national parks. And we got people listening and asking us questions and following along, which is fantastic.
Well, exactly. And what I like in, you know, where we've really started to grow, and what's really helped me is with those adventures, with those things we do, with the reviews, with the breakdowns. It's really pushed me to want to just get out and go to these places and be in these places and plan, like, okay, if I'm here, I'm also checking out, you know, if I'm in Chicago, I'm going to Indiana Sand Dunes. If I'm in, you know, Oregon, oh, I'm going to the beach. You know, I'm trying to find that adventure, that thing that, you know, keeps me wandering, I guess. And I hope our wanderers do that as they grow and as they enjoy nature. You know, it is one of those things you want to get out and just enjoy it.
Yeah, no. The nice part about having the podcast is you do feel like you want to go outside more. Which, you know, I may get outside in a, you know, different kind of what is it, angle for getting outdoors, because most of mine's with fitness.
Right.
You know, typical like nature lover. But I think what's most important is people are getting outside, you know. So it doesn't really matter what you do. You do not have to be the big time hiker and go and see all those things to be a wanderer and go wander around and enjoy nature and being outside.
Right. No, you don't need to you don't need to go climb Everest to be a nature lover or a nature person. You know, you can and we're going to talk about this later in the episode, because we're going to talk about America the Beautiful, the documentary. But that guy from Oregon State, the volunteer in the America the Beautiful documentary with the whales. You know, there's so many ways we can be involved, so many ways we can make change, and change can start with us, you know. And if every little person is doing change, you know, we were on our drive up the mountain and we saw trash. We picked up trash. We threw trash away.
There we go.
When you're doing, you know, it's just, how can you come into a place, make the place better than you found it, and make sure that the place and the wildlife are there for future generations? I think that's what you have to, you know, when you come into these places, that's the thought process.
No, for sure. Definitely the thought process there. That's why I've recently instituted a rule, or not really a rule, but more of like I guess a game of some sort. But you know, if you go out on an adventure of any kind, regardless of what it is, you know, if try and pick up, you know, at least 3 things of garbage. But the other thing is, if I'm with like a group, the person that picks up the least, I typically say you buy the first round. Which is like it's a it's a simple like incentive to pick up trash, because it's like, hey, I get free beer because so and so didn't pick up as much as me.
Well, exactly. And it's one of those things we need to be just more, you know, cautious and aware. I think that, you know, that's one thing I talked to Jared about driving, bad people on the road driving. I was just like, they're just not aware. They're not paying attention. They think it's just them on the roads. It's their car trip. Everyone should, understand what they're doing. And it's just like that same mentality, was almost the European mentality when it came to conquering the American Indians here, was just like, no, like we homesteaded, it wasn't like, no, we stole this land. We took it from somebody. No, we homesteaded. And it's just those little things. And it's very interesting.
Yeah, that is kind of an interesting way of looking at that, because I don't necessarily think it's wrong. So that's what I think. But no, for 2 years of wandering, I gotta say, it's been pretty good. We have some big interviews coming up, so the next year of wandering should be pretty good too.
Right. No, we got a lot of people we want to talk to. We got a lot of things we want to do. We got a lot of places we want to go. I know Thea talking about our honeymoon. She's wanting to go somewhere, possibly the Caribbean is kind of where we're looking like now. And I was like, hell yeah, sign me up. So, I mean, there'd probably be no Bigfoots, but it's worth a look.
Maybe not, but maybe Bigfoot likes to go on vacation too. You never know.
Well, I know I want to get out back to the redwoods. I know Jared is kind of itching to get down there, and I'm like, I'll take you because I like the redwoods. I like going down there.
I like redwoods too.
So I'm trying to plan and coordinate with him, and I don't think this next time I'm coming out to Oregon, I don't think it's going to work out, but I do think that will come within the year. There's some other places. I'm going to get back up to Sealy in the year to come. I'm going to get I don't know what kind of spring plans we have. I know work's going to travel us, so as part of work, like going to DC, I'm going to hit those museums. I'm going to hit the mall. Those are all national park run. I mean, not the museums necessarily, but the monuments and the parks, and that is something that's really interesting. So definitely check that out. Bring that to you. Maybe get some breakdowns of some stuff over there.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I know of for sure is I'm going to Georgia. I'm going for Christmas, so
Georgia.
Over in Georgia, eating for Christmas, so it'll be interesting. I've never been to that part of the country.
Well, and I told Colton, we were talking this weekend. He's down to go hunting. And we were talking about it, actually putting up a camp and just saying we're going to camp on this piece of land and then go hunting. Why not? See how it goes. I know I bought that ice hut last year for ice fishing. I think I'm going to get it into use. I think I want to try and spearfish for pike, just for shits and giggles.
That would be cool to do that. To spearfish of any kind, really, I think would be cool. It'd be kind of gnarly if you do like the one where they like dive under and that stuff.
That's the thing. I've seen people at Sealy and whatnot do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing in a lot of places. I know like Florida is kind of a big deal.
It's neat.
It's super cool. It's one of those, I think I'm on the fence about like doing it or not. It's one of those where you could easily convince me one way or the other.
Well, to me, it's one of those that what I like about it is it really puts you on the animal's almost level of like, I am going to come down here to your level and hunt you this way. It's unique for sure. When you do see the ones like in Florida, and they are going after those huge fish, it is a fight. It is a struggle with that fish. There's exertion from the angler. So stuff like that I think comes into effect. It's like, I forget who was saying it, but it's like, native men used to go take down a bison with a bow and arrow. You know what I mean? Like that was wild.
What was it? I'm reading a book currently, and I'll save everybody the main subject of it, but it goes into talking about like evolutionarily, like we aren't really the best predators in the grand scheme. We have a horrible like bite power. We don't have claws. We're not fast. We're not strong either. So like our thing was endurance, and so our body is like designed to like just run forever, and like we produce chemicals in the body that make us run forever. But you say like they took them down with a bow and arrow, a buffalo with a bow and arrow. Well, the way they do it a lot of times is they exhaust it because they've been running forever, and we're like, we can keep going, and then whap, they take it, and it's game over.
It's crazy. You're absolutely right. It's crazy. It is. We're also, I think, when you say humans, we're one of the best tool users.
Yeah.
We're one of the best at making tools and creating tools.
Yeah, I think we might arguably say we're the best at that. The kind of shit we have made as a species is nuts.
It really is, which is in comparison to the other shit. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, in year two, what do you see? You kind of said it during our anniversary or our 100th episode, which we just had, that you think we'll be going international possibly as like the big trip, which I'm excited for. I think that would be fun. What other Wandering Ways trips do you see in year two by chance?
I see a real push to try and get down to Sequoia.
Yeah.
I see a real push at trying to actually make that happen, of some sort.
Okay.
And then outside that, I would say if I had to make another guess, the other, like if I'm talking parks, actually, I'd say Sequoia or North Cascades would be hitting next.
Yeah, North Cascades. Yeah, North Cascades looking like one that I'd be down to do, just based on what it provides and what it has. And like if I got like I'm down, like Glacier we've done a lot of. I'm down to go back and do more. I think we will in the future.
Yeah, but I do too. But I think Washington's going to start getting hit a little bit more.
Yeah. I'm down for it. I'm down to do some more Oregon stuff too, because Oregon's got some pretty solid state parks. It does. I'm down to do.
Have you ever done Smith Rock?
No, I have not.
You haven't done? Oh wow,
no,
that's one we'll have to take you to.
Yeah, it'd be a first timer.
Yeah, it's a real good state park.
No, exactly, and it's just like and one I want to get to, and I think if you don't want to come do it, I think I can convince she likes North Dakota. There's a small town called like Madera, 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 North Dakota, and it's just like a touristy town, kind of by Theodore Roosevelt National Park. And I kind of want to get into that park a little bit and spend some time, look at some stuff, and really, be like, whoa.
Yeah, that's something I don't think I can do, at least in this next year. I don't want to spend my big trip out that way.
No, I don't blame you, and I feel like it would require a big trip to do that for you. You're not good at making your small trips out here. You could
very time oriented.
The problem is you have to like find those cheap flights, and they don't necessarily work with how your schedule rolls out.
Yeah, I'm not in like a great plane hub,
Exactly.
It's
that
not
too.
like I have a lot of options for flights. Hence why I got in at midnight and had my flight moved like 6-7 times on my way back from Montana. But that's that. So I was kind of thinking of getting into sport fishing again, but I feel like I need a good quality net.
Well, you know what, Reverend? I got the key solution for you. You know, our friends at Blue Ribbon Net make this eco-friendly aquafade bag, so you're not hurting the environment. It's 100% biodegradable. Plus, the wood is locally sourced and it is also biodegradable. And it's just such a great company to use. The Blue Ribbon Nets, they're here in Bozeman, Montana. And we even have a discount code. That's right. If you use the code Rougarou10, that's right. That's my Jeep, the Rougarou. Rougarou10, RUGARU10. You're going to get some discount on a Blue Ribbon net. You know, you can get the long one if you're fishing the big fish, or you can get just the good river one, you know, if you're like me and just want to catch a lot of fish.
So again, make sure you go check out Blue Ribbon and use the promo code Rougarou10.
Hey there, Reverend. I heard that you might be running dry on your sticker supplier.
Yeah, I've been looking around and I've kind of like run out of cool stickers to buy and put on water bottles and stuff.
Well, I mean, have you seen the stuff Josh has been coming out with lately?
No, I have not.
Well, he is doing some really cool stuff with the Shop LS 574. Yes, they're working with indigenous communities and making some really cool stickers. He has a really cool Buffalo Mountain sticker. There's even water bottles, hats, sweatshirts, the whole swag. And we even got a discount code for you guys. Yes, if you use Wandering Ways at Shop LS 574, you're going to be getting a discount on your next purchase. But not only that, you're going to be giving a percentage of that sale to the Little Shell Tribe, as well as they donate $1 of every sale to murdered and missing Indigenous women. So just such a cool thing going on there. You know, you use the code Wandering Ways, WANDERING WAYS, and you put that in there, boom, you're getting a discount.
Yeah, so one of the best things about wandering for 2 years is all of the cool shit that we've done. And so now it's time for my favorite segment. We've been doing this for at least one whole true year, the whole year. The first year we didn't do that first chunk. Now we had over a year of cool shit in nature.
Nice. Welcome to the and now we can officially say we've at least done 100, because if you're doing 2 for a full year,
definitely, for sure.
There we go.
No, but this one today, I got two that made me go like, oh damn. When I was
I know. I was in my house and I accepted the Zoom link and I'm like, who is in my house?
Yeah. So this first one's pretty cool. It's just some for people watching. It's some elephants by the water, and an alligator or a crocodile gets the elephant by the trunk, and then the elephant kind of goes ham on it, to be honest.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, like I get like you got the little elephant there, probably what the crocodile's wanting, but like I feel like elephants one of those that they fuck up a lot of shit.
Oh, right. That, and like this crocodile did not get on, like, I think grabbing the trunk is like one of the worst spots to grab on an elephant.
Right.
Like
a whip that you're grabbing.
Yeah. I mean, and we see it here. I mean, that alligator gets pulled out of the water and thrown down.
Exactly. And then just trampled.
Yeah, essentially.
Boom.
You do wonder how messed up that crocodile got.
Yeah, and you wonder how bad that trunk looks.
Yeah, that too. Because I mean, that jaw strength, man, it's clenching, and it's clenching for good.
Oh, ouch.
So, but no, that was the first one. The second one, this is the one that actually made me go, oh shit. And it's some more Turons in Yellowstone.
Great page.
It really is, which is why I'm highlighting it a second time, because people should go check them out. But anyways, for people just watching it, 2 bull elk, I'm definitely guessing we're in rut because they were about to lock horns. But classic people standing around, taking pictures, and this guy says no. So
Boom! Old man goes down. 10 points for the elk.
yeah, that's the part that made me go, oh shit.
The worst part about it is they're going to kill that elk now.
Probably, yeah.
You know, like
That's a
now
good
give
looking
him
elk too.
his. You know what I mean? Like, we got to kill him because he killed the person. And like, I see that right there in Mammoth too, and you're just like, idiots.
Yep. I mean, he didn't kill the person. He just like
Probably hurt the guy. Good thing there's a little clinic there in Mammoth where they're at.
yeah, it's not far. I mean, I get he's gonna be really messed up. He's definitely got like a puncture wound.
Yeah, he gets kind of up though, which is interesting. And the elk, I love how the elk just like, all right, I want to go eat some leaves now.
Yeah, then he just bounces. So that
What it reminds me of, so we're going to get into it. We're going to talk America the Beautiful for the 100th, which I think is really good. You know, this was a series by National Geographic that came out on July 4th, very focused on America and American animals and iconic American animals, I think. It was I liked it. It was a good documentary, interesting. Michael B. Jordan, a nice voice, I think. But what made me think with the elk is the moose.
oh yeah. Yeah. America's Beautiful is a good documentary series. You should check it out. And I think Michael B. Jordan does a decent job. You know, I don't know what it is about National Geographic nature documentaries, but I'm not a huge fan of it. So, and I tried to remain pretty unbiased when I was watching it, and it was very pretty shots and everything. It's just not like my favorite, I guess.
No, I totally agree with you. I think the drone shots were really cool in it. And I guess get a read, get the Mark 101, the Reverend 101. What was the overall vibe, I guess, you got off the footage, kind of overall feel?
Overall, I mean, what I kind of appreciated about it is it really kind of highlighted the dangers of climate change here at home. So here in the US. So I think that was a huge kind of plus about it. And then like honestly, the very last episode with it being like anybody and anyone can go out and like make a difference. And who knows, that could really evolve into something from you just, having a passion of going out and you're like, oh, that is cool. I want to try and save that. So
No, exactly. I do think that. I think it's interesting. I do think a lot of the animals, other than like the Florida panther, the cougar in the Grand Canyon, the cats kind of, but like the squirrels, the birds, the bear, it looked very, looked like the majority of their animals were very easy to get footage of.
yeah.
And I no knock to them. I think this was a great documentary. I think it covered a lot of stuff and it shed light on a lot of things, like you're saying. But again, it's like I want to focus more on the wolves. I don't really care. National Geographic, or I've already seen the fox hunting mice. I've seen the bison moving snow with their heads. I've seen the certain critters that they kind of focus on, and you're just like that's what you get when you go to those parks too. Like, I need a little more wow. I think Planet Earth had, when you look at other nature documentaries, that one like provided that, both with Planet Earth 1 just being the revolutionary, because some of that footage from Planet Earth 1 came from this was footage in the 70s that they were working trying to capture snow leopard images in the fucking mountains.
Yeah, the videography, well, I guess not really the videography, more of like the content of it. I didn't really have anything too upsetting in that standpoint. For the most part, most nature documentaries, you're going to get a lot of those kind of big hitters like that. So it's kind of a stab at all nature documentaries when you start to see the same thing over and over. So I get that, because we've seen a lot of it, not just in National Geographic but BBC, that stuff. But they hit on sea otters, which was cool. They had some. The Panthers were cool, and the cougar and the Grand Canyon. That's all really awesome things. It's just, I don't know. I think it was like maybe the writing for the narration that really turned me off on this one, because it wasn't like Michael B. Jordan's voice. I actually didn't think that, but I wasn't a fan of the things he said at times, and he wasn't saying anything outlandish. Maybe it was, the kind of narrative they were trying to create.
Yeah, and you could tell, like, there's a hunting scene happening here, or these bear are chasing this, and it's like, well, you can tell, like, that's a sunset shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bear's chasing the caribou during the day, and then all of a sudden at the water at sunset. Like, yeah, they probably went to the water at some point, but were they chasing caribou at that point? Probably not. And they really made it out to be. And it's like, another thing Jared pointed out is there wasn't a lot of carnage. And I think people do kind of want that. They want to see the grizzly bear take down the moose a little stronger. They want to see the wolf take down the caribou a little stronger, because they want to see that, because it happens.
Yeah, that's a good point. There really wasn't a whole lot of that, was there?
No, and there was a lot of birds. Nothing wrong with birds, but that was something I wanted to point out. I felt like there was like, it was interesting. I mean, maybe like other documentaries don't do a lot of birds, so they're like, yeah, we're going to focus on them. But like, I felt like there was a lot of birds in this one.
Yeah, there's a decent amount for sure of the birds. But no, I mean, I think overall it's a good one. I think people should check it out. You have to have a Disney Plus membership. So if you do want to check it out, make sure you do. One of the things I actually learned is, so like, they had the volunteers that do the whale sightings on the Oregon coast. So I've known that for a while, because we would go and we'd meet them. I did not know that those are straight up just volunteers. I thought they were like worked within they were a state park ranger or something close by.
Well, and I don't know if you saw, but in the last episode, when they're talking about the whales and getting the whale poop, they show an Oregon State lab.
Well, it was in Newport.
Yeah,
so.
But no, they show two people in Oregon State lab coats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Newport has the NOAA lab there. So Newport has a ton of that stuff.
Well, and that's what Oregon State's known for. It's one of the reasons you do go to university there,
Yeah, so you can go spend your time in Newport and be out on the ocean.
Yeah, people love that. I mean, that's not
great,
my life.
Great clam chowder in Newport.
I'm about it. Actually, that's something that's on my list. I'm coming over there soon. I'm like, got to get some good clam chowder.
There you go. No, but that was one of the, I knew it, but the little thing I knew, I was like, oh, that's something I didn't know about that. But that last episode is what I really appreciate about it. And I've talked about this a few times, about how it starts off with, it's just you going out doing something you like, and it turns into something bigger, and you're helping a greater cause, all because you like being out in the water and you see golf balls, and you pick up the golf balls, or you found a really cool cat in some woods and you're like, let's videotape some cats. So
no, I think that last episode is interesting, because they even talk about the American Prairie Reserve here in Montana. And I actually got on the phone with one of them. She said she would do an interview with us, but has not responded to any emails. So that's where the Wandering Ways podcast is at with American Prairie Reserve. We're trying. But no, what I liked about that, what I also found interesting is the play with using the native tribe that the American Prairie Reserve did, and the music in the thing. Like Jared was saying, like, oh, it's bringing me to tears. Like it's kind of just that reuniting story of like bringing the bison back to the plains, and it's like you didn't do that though. Like that's been done before, and just how that episode was played on like that, I thought was interesting. I mean, it makes me skeptical of like what there's a lot of people here in Montana that oppose kind of the American Prairie Reserve, but it makes me like also think like if this truly is their mission, it's a good mission to have. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very good mission to have. I don't know. I'm always worried when I see something in the private sector like that happens. I am very cautiously optimistic, I guess. I always see it as their heart's probably in the right place, but there's going to be a point where they go, gotcha.
Well, and not necessarily gotcha. It could be a point where it's, well, no, we're private. This is what we do. This is what we decide. This is how we do it. I didn't know, which is interesting with their buffalo, is they are regulated by the Montana Livestock Commission. So they are kind of the same regulations as your Montana beef, and which I kind of find is interesting because like you get a lot of slack from the ranchers as well as the like hunters and stuff that want the elk, and they don't like the cat, the fact that they think bison transfer brucellosis to elk as well as transfer it to cow, when really bison, there's never been a known case in Montana. If they're held to the same standards as the elk, like, or not the elk, but the cows, and like Montana beef is one of those like top quality beefs, which is some of the highest standards of steaks and meats in the country. Like, to me, it's like, then they're good. Like, to me, they're doing a decent job with the bison. They're following all the rules. Like, if they're following the rules, there's nothing wrong with rule followers.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's a cautiously optimistic anytime when the private sector tries to do something like that. I've seen it in other areas, and it's just cautiously optimistic. I always hope the best, but maybe I expect the worst.
No, exactly. No, exactly. And that's something that, what happens when climate change changes it and that land is somehow livable and fertile, and they choose to do whatever with it. That's definitely those longer backstories. There's a reason you'd put millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars into something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the girl picking up the golf balls at Pebble Beach. Kind of shame on Pebble Beach for allowing that, knowing that people are hitting them into the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of bad golfers out there. So there's probably a lot of people that they hit it into the water, but that probably wasn't their goal. But there's probably actually a fair amount of people just teeing off into the water too, to be honest.
And it's funny when you look at the golf balls and you think about it. I was like, that's Pebble Beach. So that girl needs to just go flip those golf balls. I'm sure there's some good ones in there at Pebble Beach.
Oh, for sure. Those definitely got some value to them. You can clean them up. I don't know how well they hit after being in like salt water like that.
Yeah, obviously,
they'll probably sell them for $1 or $2 each.
Yeah, but just like a bag of balls, you're getting a good quality of bag of balls. Plus, not only that, you don't go for the old one. I mean, there'll be newer ones like from they hit them in a month ago.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But actually going in the water affects the golf ball. But I mean, again, you can flip because most of those balls are probably going to be your $5 balls. So you can flip a $5 ball for $2 and you didn't have to pay anything. You're doing okay. And they're going to be like, I'm paying, a third of the price. So shit, I'll take a ball that's not going to fly as far because it's got a little salt residue on it or something,
Not only that, but it's exactly, and you're cleaning up your recycling.
Yeah.
You're doing the world thing, and we need to figure out a alternative for plastic. Essentially, I think is the alternative. We need to figure out what's going to be biodegradable. I think that's the long term solve.
Yeah,
Which with
I
any of
think
these
so.
documentaries.
I think so too, mainly because how plastic is also made. It's made from oil. So
Right. It's finding that like, oh, our bags, we will use paper bags because they
yeah. I heard and it's been a while since I heard this, so I don't know what's come of it or where it's gone or honestly even if this is real. But I thought I'd heard that they're making like a plastic alternative, but it's fungi based. So it's fungi.
oh, so kind of squishy probably.
I don't know. I've never seen an actual like product. I've only like heard some mushroom people talk about it.
Interesting.
So
What I do, sorry to reel you back because we were kind of wandering there, but I wanted to ask a question about the episodes, the America the Beautiful documentary here. What did you think about the episode layout of like how they laid them out?
uh yeah, I think they did a pretty decent job at it, to be fair. Um it's I mean, how many ways can you really lay out all of the stuff here in the United States? So I liked it because they kept to a theme but bounced around in a sense. Which didn't make it feel just so monotonous, just over and over.
How did you feel about because like take for example like the whales, right? You got like you would talk, or even the wolves, right? It'd be like they would talk about them, they'd bounce on to the next animal, and then they'd come back to them like throughout the different seasons. What did you like? What did you feel about that? What was your thoughts? I guess.
Oh, I've seen other documentaries do that kind of style, and um, I'm a little hit or miss on it. Sometimes I'm like, I just want all of it right there, then move me on to something else. I'm done. I don't want to go back. But if there's enough to like stuff to go, it doesn't necessarily suck that much to like come back to it if there's enough content. The thing is a lot of times I don't think so. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think. Well, I think with the change, right? A lot of it had to do with the change of weather, change of season is kind of the
Yeah.
like what they were showing. So it made sense to why. But again, it's like, okay, we're covering three animals in the Northland, and this is supposed to be about all of America.
Mhm. No, you're spot on there. So
Favorites? Any favorites or standouts?
favorites or standouts? I mean, I mentioned the favorite. I liked because it's like that call to action that we don't get a lot of in these documentaries. So like actually having a documentary do something like that and then do a decent job of going about it was very I appreciative on my end because I think it's something we need in our nature documentaries more of because people just aren't getting the message and we got to start drilling it more and more.
No, okay, yeah, fair. But favorite animal scene, favorite animal experience. Go.
Oh, probably I had the sea otters. They're cool. I really like sea otters. How about you?
Oh, me, little old me.
Yeah.
I like the marmots fighting each other.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one. That was a good one.
No. But no, that is a good point because, or stop point, because we are getting to that time and it is time for our final words. So that being said, final words, my guy.
All right, my man. That was such a great episode. 2 years. I can't believe that. That's wild. Here we are, super stoked to be as like the Native American way, right? We're coming upon year 3. We're entering year 3. We've completed year 2. We've celebrated. We've had a good time. Now we're entering this new journey. which is exciting. And I'm excited to grow the podcast and to bring new things and new experiences to you with the podcast, because we have we will get those. We'll get new experiences and new things. You know, today you heard a little bit about our recent adventures. You heard about kind of our thoughts for 2 years, exciting stuff. And we kind of broke down a little bit of a documentary, because, you know, the more and more we're talking about nature, the more and more we're getting involved in it, discussing it, finding things that we can find common ground on. You know, we're going to accomplish good things as a society. So we just got to keep wandering on, you know. All right, Reverend.
Reverend's final words of wisdom. Stay beautiful, everybody. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you for sticking around. You guys are amazing. You know, just get outside. You do not have to be climbing mountains. You do not have to be a Bear Grylls type to be a nature lover or a wanderer in that case. It's just going outside and doing what you love to do and being outside doing it. You know, so, and that could evolve into something more, as we mentioned, because that's kind of where it's all about. It's just taking care of this beautiful planet we live on. But with that being said,